Learning Design Studio for Higher Education is a technology platform developed to support teachers' learning and assessment design. Today, the advances in learning science and learning technologies have greatly increased the scale and complexity of learning. When designing a course, teachers' design focus has to travel back and forth between different levels and have to deal with various configurations of learning tasks, resources, tools, and social settings that can influence learning outcomes. These make learning design a rather demanding task. In other design-related professions such as fashion design, architecture, and software design, there is always a language or a set of vocabularies that guide the design process and in the meanwhile notates the design for the exchange among designers. Being inspired by this idea, we developed a learning design pattern language as a standardized and formalized notation system that can illuminate and manage the complexity of learning and effectively channel teachers' design focus towards different levels and dimensions of a course design. By integrating the OBE and design patterns, we put forward a three-level hierarchically nested learning design pattern language to conceptualize the process of a course design. Especially, a course design starts with defining the target learning outcomes in three categories, namely disciplinary knowledge, disciplinary skills, and generic skills. Then, the strategic component level design defines a set of learning strategic components needed to tackle the learning outcomes. Each strategic component comprises one or a few design patterns that are repetitively used throughout a course to address a particular type of constellation of learning outcomes. Each design pattern consists of a sequence of learning tasks, which together manifest a design strategy that can effectively tackle one or certain learning outcomes. To facilitate the formulation of task sequence, we have developed a task taxonomy that specifies the nature of experience that each type of task will provide for learners. The task taxonomy comprises 12 task types, which are grouped under 4 categories: direct learning, exploratory learning, productive learning, and reflective learning. By selecting the tasks and putting them into different orders, we can formulate task sequences that manifest different pedagogical approaches and lead to different learning experiences. The task level design specifies the context to support a satisfactory implementation of each learning task, such as the tool, resources, social organization, physical setting, motivator, etc. Learning Design Studio for Higher Education was developed to embody the design workflow underpinned by the values and structure of pattern language. A new course starts with a course-level design page, which invites the designers to enter basic course information, as well as the design course learning outcomes list under the 3 outcome categories. The next level of design granularity is a strategic component, in which teachers design several design patterns to address different learning outcomes. Users can drag the learning task types required from the 12 task types organized in 4 categories: directed, exploratory, constructive, and reflective, on the left-hand panel column to the middle panel and connect them according to the planned learning sequence. That sequence can be saved as a design pattern to be initiated for actual implementation. Further details for each activity, such as time duration, social organization, and resources required, can be specified on the right-hand panel, which does support design work at the task level and below. Strategic components can be interactively reused throughout the course to achieve similar learning outcomes. The design components and tasks can be allocated into different sessions and subsessions of the course. The LDS includes a designer's dashboard to facilitate teachers' self-monitoring and self-reflection during the design process, so that teachers can reflect on and adjust their course design before it's implemented. A printable version of the course design can be generated by the system. LDS also includes features supporting collaborative design practice and community building. Users can import or export design patterns from their individual pattern library and public pattern library. Users can also share designs to other users with different levels of permission or to publish their course design with the approval of the LDS curators.